What is EQ is the title of this video. Within the next 6 minutes of this video, I will endeavour to educate you on what EQ actually is, so you can use it more effectively. So, what is EQ? Well, this abbreviation stands for equalizer. Now, you've all seen a stereo with bass and treble. This is an equalizer in its most primitive form. You can also find this piece of equipment in your car stereo sound system. So what is this scientific wizardry and what does it do? An equalizer, or an EQ, is an audio filter that isolates certain frequencies. Are you still with me? Good. So EQ is used to control frequencies. Now, what are frequencies, I hear you say? To explain this, I'm going to need some help from a friend. Well, frequency is vibrations in the air. So when we play a note on a guitar, or we sing a note, then it causes rapid changes in air pressure. Rapid changes in air pressure. No, this is serious, come on. Then it causes rapid changes in air pressure, which then creates what we call a sound wave, which goes like this. Now, the number of cycles per second determines the pitch of the note, which is, in fact, the frequency. And we measure the frequency in hertz. Ow! So human hearing is approximately between 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Now, dogs can hear higher than that, and apparently brown bats can hear up to 115 kilohertz. So you don't need to worry about that. Keep watching to the end for some tips and tricks on using EQ. So how did equalisation come about? Well, the concept of equalisation was first applied in correcting the frequency response of telephone lines. This was prior to the invention of electronic amplification. This technology was then applied to radio and then later applied by sound engineers. Equalisation within sound engineering is the subject matter we will cover in the rest of this video. Stay with me. It's worth it, I promise. Well, sound engineers correct the frequency response of a sound so that the music you hear through the speakers better matches the original musical performance. There are many forms of this monstrosity I will try not to name too many times. This one, 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 and this one. Passive,
channel, linear phase, single band, dynamic,
tube.
And the list goes on. Now here is an example of the functions of an equalizer used in musical sound recording. Equalizers come in both analog and digital formats, but for this video we are going to concentrate on the digital realm. This is a channel EQ in Logic, and this is an SSL EQ. For the purpose of this, we're going to use the channel EQ as an example. There are three main functions to this equalizer and a fourth function called the Q. Let me show you. Firstly, there are the frequencies, which are here, measured in hertz. The volume, here in decibels, to add or subtract volume. The shape, bell, filter, and shelf. This part here is the Q. Keep watching to the end. So what do these functions do? Let me explain. This is a low pass filter, and this is what it does to a sound. And this is a high pass filter. And if we put a low sound on it, we can listen to what it does to the sound. It's back to front, I know. This is a bell EQ because it's shaped like a bell. And if you listen to what happens with this white noise, if I boost it and if I cut it. All it does is adds or removes the frequency that you've selected here. That's your frequency, that's your gain, and this is a shelf EQ. Now, a shelf EQ may not be the best tool to use on individual instruments. It's better to use on a whole piece of music. So if we put a shelf EQ on here, and we'll do it on here as well, you can hear how it affects the whole piece of music. So hopefully now you have a basic understanding of what equalisation is and what it does. So if you've made it this far, you've made it to the end of the video, and it's time for the tips and tricks. But first, thank you for watching. If you would like to see more of my content, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Now for your tips and tricks, click here.